Hello everyone. My name is Sam and welcome back to my channel Sam's Creations. Today I will be covering the topic of how to make a nice acrylic painting. So without any further ado, let's start. 1. What should a beginner paint? Even the best painters don't necessarily choose complicated subjects to paint. One of the most challenging things to paint for beginners is probably a portrait of a person. You don't have to start with a huge challenge. Think about all of the beautiful paintings you've seen or seen pictures of that are of simpler subjects. For example, in this painting that I made, I have chosen the topic of a scene in a forest. 2. Deciding your painting's focus. What do you want to paint? What are you trying to represent? Maybe it's a landscape, but what is it about that landscape that inspired you to paint it? It's light, it's calm, it's liveliness. Before you get started, decide what you are trying to represent in your painting and, on a piece of paper, plan the composition of your painting keeping your focus in mind. It might take several small composition sketches before you find one that sings to you. For example, in my painting I had decided from the start that I wanted to paint a scene of a forest in the evening. If you work from a photograph, there is no reason to be 100% faithful to the photo's layout and/or colors. You can alter sizes, positions, and colors of things to suit your artistic goal. You can edit some of the trees out, add some others, and move a home or a bridge to make your composition more balanced. In fact, if you do use a photograph, use it for reference only. Don't copy it. Make a sketch of the elements and shapes that you like, but then put the photo away. Then feel free to rearrange the figures and create your own composition for your painting. 3. Plan your layout. It will save you trouble later. The temptation to start painting right away is huge. But if you jump right into the drawing and painting on your canvas, you may find yourself stuck with a wood painting that needs improvement and you don't know how to save it. In many cases, this is a sign of poor composition and value structure. Before you jump into your painting, make some preliminary sketches to use as a reference. The rule of thirds can help you decide how to plan the layout of your painting and where to place your focal point. You should also decide how you will paint according to your skill level. Don't just think that you can paint a landscape or an object or anything. You should first decide how you will paint it, and if it is a bit too hard for yourself. For example, in my painting, I had decided that I will have a background of gold and dark green merged together in a circular manner. Then I will add 3 layers of trees and bushes on top of the background. As I am not very good in merging 2 colors in a circular or curved manner, I wasn't able to make the background properly, and thus I dried the paint on the canvas and started merging again, but this time in a vertical manner. You can paint different colors from what you see in order to stick with a specific color scheme. Some planning using value sketches can make a huge difference. 4. Paint the middle values first. When you are happy with your composition, fill the row shape of the focal point of your painting with the middle value for that object. Then move to another object or shape adjacent to your focal point and paint its row shape with the middle value. Keep working around the whole composition, blocking in all the shapes and objects. Don't bother about shadows and highlights at this stage, adding details to your painting. Once you have blocked off all the shapes in your composition, step back and take a look. Does it make sense? Did you choose good colors for each object? Then go back and make any needed changes to the colors. When you are happy with the colors, it is time to start filling in more details, smaller shapes and different values. Start with the lighter values, then move to the darker ones. For example, in my painting, I did 3 layers of trees and bushes, each one getting darker and darker. The first layer that I did on the background was with a color which was the mixture of equal portions of dark green and coarse yellow. I did the second layer with a color which had dark green in greater portions than coarse yellow. In the final layer, I mixed equal portions of dark green and black. This made the effect that the trees that are light in color are really far, the trees that are slightly darker and a bit closer, and the trees that even more darker are the closest. Paint the shadows. Shadows should be of a cooler color than the rest of the object. Note: shadows are never black. 5. Paint the highlights last. The last thing you need to do is to add the highlights. Highlights don't have to be white. They can be a very light value of the main color of the object. Step back often and look at your painting from a distance. This will help you see the direction your painting is going and evaluate the values and areas that need tweaking or improvement. For example, in my painting, I have used the gold color to make an effect that the rises of the sun are passing through the trees, and this became the highlight of my painting. 6. Tell a story on canvas. Throughout the process, keep your focal point in mind. What were you trying to achieve? Does it come through to the viewer? The goal should not be to represent something, but to tell a story, to convey feelings, to remind yourself of the story that you are trying to depict. It's a good idea to decide on a title that summarizes it from the beginning and keep it in mind. It might help to write it down and keep it in front of you. For example, with my painting, I wanted to make the viewer of my painting feel very cozy, warm and comfortable. The sunlight makes everything much cozier. Every time I stepped back to see my painting properly, I reminded myself the theme of the painting sunset in forest so that I can or fix anything that doesn't make the painting look like a beautiful sunset scene in the forest. 7. Keep painting fun, no matter what. One of the main challenges for beginner artists is that the painting does not come out looking like what you had in your head. How our imagination envisions the final piece is often very different from the results on canvas. It's okay for the painting to take a different turn during execution and come out different. It takes a lot of practice to be able to plan to know exactly how to render a certain effect. For example, in my painting, I wanted it to look much more free and open than it looks, but still I'm happy with the result, and I enjoyed every moment of painting it. Don't get discouraged. Keep painting and don't forget the most important thing. In painting, the fun is in the journey, not the destination. Enjoy every step of it, even the mistakes, because they teach you a lot. So, that was it for this video. I hope you liked it and have learned something new. If you have, then please smash the like button and subscribe for more content like this. I will catch you all really soon in another video. Till then, be creative, stay creative, and bye-bye.